Monster Jam! Australia, this is round one of JCB Racing. 10 drivers have been placed into the bracket. Now they're going head to head to try to get to that final round. Only 2 winners will come out on top. And oh boy, they're going to be facing those 8 drivers without automatic buy-in in round 2. But first up, we're going to watch these 4 trucks go head to head. It's almost time for JCB Racing. Ray.
All right, well, you see out there on the track, out comes the JCB Dirt Squad as well as our Monster Jam technicians, and they're taking a look at Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Now, here's the thing. You saw in the bracket, and I told you earlier that he was in the first matchup of round 1. Lindsay, what is going on, or what could possibly going on right here? Because I just got word they are hooking him.
So unfortunately, sometimes we are just truly at the mercy of our Monster Jam trucks. Of course, Son of a Digger able to grab the overall event championship earlier, but it did end up in a crash. So there was a lot of maintenance to be done early on before he was able to make it back here for intros. Now, the truck is obviously not dead in the water, but it does mean that they're gonna have to go ahead and take it out through this tunnel right here. And what that means is they're gonna have to look at air, fuel, and spark. And so our technicians right now kind of puzzled. They don't know exactly what it is until they sort of get it back there and get a closer look. But, you know, when we look at air, fuel, and spark, that's the first thing they're going to start with, and we'll see where that goes from there.
Well, Lindsay, I also want to know, because you see this is partially covered here at the C-Bus Super Stadium, where they're working on these Monster Jam trucks. Are they covered, or are they inside the weather conditions as well?
No, for those of you that are close to our crew here in crew seating, you can tell that they have been in the weather for quite a while throughout the entire upkeep. You know, we earlier had an afternoon event and then, of course, had to turn around for this evening event. So they have been working very hard behind the scenes, and truly, they have been working in that weather. There's not a poncho. There's not really a covered option for them. So they've just been working in it, and they're going to have to continue to do so here on Son of a Digger.
All right, well, the weather already coming into play here early on, and that's something that we were expecting. Of course, we didn't expect it in the very first matchup. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, heads to the back. We'll keep you updated with them, and thank you to Lindsay for keeping us updated as well. Now, that means that El Toro Loco, that is Blake Granger, will automatically advance to round 2, where he'll be facing off against Barry Moosauer, Black Panther. So, El Toro Loco, the automatic advancement, as son of a digger is unable to compete. El Toro Loco, Black Panther facing off in round 2. And we still have one more matchup, or your first matchup, ready to go here in round 1 as our next riders get set. This is Monster Jam. Your first competitor you'll see this evening, Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. She's going head-to-head with Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Well, this will be a fun one to watch right here. Jamie Sullivan, a quick rising star. Adam Anderson, 20 years in. Here we go! And your winner, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Taking out Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. She's eliminated in round 1. And Adam Anderson moving on to round 2 of JCB Racing. Seeing those weather conditions coming into play as again, Adam Anderson with a late start there, a bit of a spin out as Jamie Sullivan took off, but he was able to make up enough ground as she was kind of spinning out there a bit during that pass. So the weather coming into play. Nevertheless, Gravedigger moving on to round 2, taking out Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Your matchups are set in round 2, JCB Racing.
Monster Jam fans, over here in crew seating again, my name is Lindsay Noble. I'm your pit reporter here this evening. I'm joined by Elliot, your crew chief for Thor. And like I mentioned earlier, there's been a lot of work on some of these Monster Jam trucks. Of course, Thor being one of them. Earlier, a big crash after an amazing backflip and an awesome freestyle out of Cynthia Gauthier. But that left your team and you continuing to thrash on that Monster Jam truck. We're about to put up a video of Thor and what's going on right now to get it back for competition. Can you tell us what was going on?
Yeah, so as you can see right here, that's our truck, Thor, out there. And during the last show, she did a backflip and landed a kind of rough. Ripped a couple 4-link tabs out. We had to cut them off, weld them up. There's 2 of the shocks there. That's what we're working on in that video. We have new shocks on, new sway bar adjuster, a whole bunch of hard parts.
And of course, you know, we're talking about all of those parts, and that does mean a lot of hours. So thank you for all your hard work, Monster Jam fans. We would not be able to have this event if it were not for these guys behind the scenes. So if you can hear me, please give them a loud round of applause.
Monster Jam fans, this is round 2 of JCB Racing. Our winners from round 1 have made it to this round, and now they're going to be competing against 8 drivers who had an automatic buy-in, but only 4 can make it to the semifinal round. You ready, Gold Coast? Let me hear you if you're ready for JCB Racing!
Getting us started in round 2, it's Barry Moosauer, Black Panther. He's facing off against Blake Granger, Toro Loco. Blake Granger already moving to the line. Barry Moosauer getting set as well. Let's go green! And your winner, Blake Granger, Toro Loco. He'll be moving on into the semifinals, the first driver set. And on that last turn, Barry Moosauer's truck goes dead in the water, able to fire up to clear the track. But Blake Granger, his first competitor was to be Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, doesn't face off against him. Second competition, Black Panther, Barry Moosauer runs into issues coming in on the last turn around the same time where son of a digger went out. And if you look out there on the track, it looks like Barry Moosauer, Black Panther, is now headed to the back. So we'll get you an update on what's going on behind the scenes as we are able to do so. Toro Loco is set in the semifinals. Your next matchup, Brandon Arthur, JCB Digatron. His opponent, Tony Ochs, Iron Man. Tony and Brandon going head-to-head right now. Of course, only one can move on to the semifinals. Iron Man is set. JCB is set. Let's go. And your winner, Tony Ochs, Iron Man. Moving on to the semifinals, eliminating JCB Digatron. Down goes Brandon Arthur. And your first matchup of the semifinals is set. El Toro Loco facing off against Iron Man. That's coming up after we finish out round 2 of JCB Racing. Charlie Pocket, Megalodon. Battling it out with Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Two Monster Jam veterans going head-to-head right here. Of course, Charlie Pocket been competing since 1987. Adam Anderson been competing since 2005. They are set. Let's go green. And your winner, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Adam Anderson moves on to the semifinals in the second half of that bracket. He will be moving on as he takes out Charlie Pocket, Megalodon. Before that, taking out Sparkle Smash. He is set in the semifinals, Gravedigger.
Monster Jam fans, I have this wonderful family here who is not shy at all to play a game with me. We're going to do something here. Monster Jam trivia, super easy, okay? It's not like Jeopardy or anything like that. All right, so let's see who we have on the Monster Jam video board.
What type of fuel do Monster Jam cook? Is it A, B, normal gas, C, race fuel, or D, chocolate milk? If you know the answer, let me hear.
Well, I can tell you it is not a electric car, that's for sure. It's not chocolate milk. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. What do you think?
What is it? C.
All right, so he says C. Let's see if he's right. Everybody, is it race fuel? Round of applause for this awesome family right here, being so brave, getting on national TV, worldwide TV, as a matter of fact. Not to scare anybody or intimidate anybody, but that is called Monster Jam Trivia.
Take a look at that bracket one more time. It's been playing out, and it's been a fun one here in JCB Racing. So far in the semifinals, we have El Toro Loco, Blake Granger. He's going to be facing off against Tony Ochs, Iron Man. That'll be your first matchup of the semifinals, and then Gravedigger is set. But now we find out who he will be facing off against. Will it be Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man? Or will it be his opponent, Cynthia Gauthier, Thor? First time that we're going to take a look at Thor here in this event. She wasn't out for the driver introductions. A big shout out to her team as they're able to get her onto the track. Will she be able to move on in this competition? Big shouts out to the people behind the scenes, keeping us safe, keeping us going. And here we go. And your winner, Michael Vonners Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man. Eliminate Cynthia Gauthier, Thor, just as quickly as they get her out to the track. Out comes the JCB Dirt Squad, and they're going to be hooking her to get her off of the track. So she makes her appearance, almost goes down to the stretch. It was neck and neck there with the Amazing Spider-Man. Unfortunately, right before the last jump, unable to, that truck just shut off on her, was unable to make the jump there, and she's headed to the back. Lindsay, I'm not sure if you're standing by, but we got a little bit of a chaos out here on the track.
Thanks, Ray. It's certainly chaotic already here in JCB Racing. So what it looked like is that it was a loss of power. What they're going to first look at is potentially going to be the drive shaft component. So once again, they're going to have to take her through this tunnel and take her back into the pits and take a look at everything going on with that Monster Jam truck. Our crew is going to go ahead and talk with Cynthia Gauthier and see exactly what she felt underneath those BKT tires and inside of the truck. We're going to take a look. You know, she may think it's transmission. She may be able to use her senses as well. So I always say that our driver athletes do have to take into consideration at least 4 of their 5 senses, and they're going to have to be able to communicate that with their crew. So I'll keep you guys updated as the story unfolds.
Oh boy, Australia. This is the semifinal round of JCB Racing. 4 of our fastest drivers have made it to this round. Now there can only be 2 to make it to that final round. It is going to be a close call, y'all. I need to hear you, though. Come on, Gold Coast. You ready for more JCB Racing? Uh-huh.
All right, your first matchup is here. El Toro Loco and Iron Man, Blake Granger and Tony Ochs. They are set. Let's go racing! Extremely close competition. To get an official word, Iron Man Tony Ochs moves on to the finals. You see there on the replay, just getting it a little bit more momentum, and he takes out Blake Granger. El Toro Loco, an extremely close competition. Tony Ochs makes his way to the finals. Take a look at that. Just getting it by half of a BKT tire. Came down to the very end. Tony Ochs moving on to the finals. And now looking out here on the track, I do see that Gravedigger is out there on the track, but may have something else going on right here. Michael Vonners Jr. should be facing off against Adam Anderson. Gravedigger, Lindsay, we're keeping you busy right now. What's going on?
Well, you know, I've already said it so many times, but really the communication between a crew chief and the driver is so crucial, especially during a mud event. So what has happened is they did lose communication, and they're working to get that back. So that's a pretty simple fix here at Monster Jam and should be in no time.
Oh, and then you see that, as you say, pretty simple fix, and he says simple indeed. He is already ready to go. Communication is key, but so is the racing. Only one can move forward. This is your second matchup of the semifinals. Gravedigger facing off against the Amazing Spider-Man. Who is moving on? Let's find out. Gravedigger inches forward. The Amazing Spider-Man meets him at the line. Let's go green! And your winner, the Amazing Spider-Man, Michael Vonners Jr., moves on to the finals and eliminates Gravedigger. Your matchups are set, and it is a Marvel showdown. Iron Man facing off against the Amazing Spider-Man here at the JCB Racing Finals.
Australia, this is the final round of JCB Racing. Who's ready to meet your final contenders?
He's looking for a first competition victory here in Australia. It's his first time competing in Australia in his career. From Hagerstown, Maryland, 2015 World Finals Freestyle champion, Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man. He took a competition victory earlier today. His second year straight competing in Australia. Coming all the way from Pennsylvania, Tony Ochs, Iron Man. Marvel Showdown about to go down here in the Gold Coast. It all comes to this. Does Tony Ochs get his second competition win, or does Michael get his first there off? And your winner, Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man. Michael Vaughters Jr. gets his first competition victory since making his return to Monster Jam this year. He's been competing since 2014, did take a break, and then says, you know what, my first time in Australia, let me show you how it's done. Let me take you back to 2015 when he won that World Finals Freestyle Championship. He says, this is why I'm one of the best to do it. Michael Vaughters Jr., his first competition win. And I'm just so excited for this driver right here. His first time seeing Michael compete. And, we started there in our first stop in Australia. Struggled just a bit. A brand new Monster Jam truck last week in Sydney. It was one event. You saw him get a little bit more comfortable, but it was only one event as opposed to this week where we have two. On his very last event, is able to get the competition win. And if you guys make enough noise, you might get him out of the truck. You see him right there. Lindsay, I know you've been busy behind the scenes keeping us updated about what's happening, but right now we got to talk to Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man. So let's go ahead, give him a moment, and we're going to hand the mic off to Lindsay.
Congratulations to Michael Vaughters Jr. here. A JCB Racing win will now earn him 10 points towards today's overall event championship. Out here, you were so clean in every single pass. We talked about this track earlier. It's so unpredictable. What was going right for you?
I was just trying to be consistent. This track really dialed in nicely. We thought it was going to be really slick. Dakota, my crew guy right here, I couldn't do this without him. I fought this truck the entire Australian tour, and we finally have it dialed in for Gold Coast. It's because of this man right here. We got this truck worked out, and it made me feel like home. Gold Coast, thank you so much. Australia, I love you.
And Michael, there's more where that came from. Up next is the skills competition. And so what is going to be able to create this momentum to continue to go forward? What can we expect from your team?
Just try to be consistent, like you said. If we got the points lead right now, if I can just lay down a good two-wheel score and get a good freestyle win, that's what it's all about, consistency with points. But I came all the way across the Pacific Ocean to put on a show. This truck's feeling 100%. We're going to give it 100%.
Well, good luck in the skills competition. Congratulations on your win. Monster Jam fans, one more time for Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man.
Congratulations to Michael Vaughters Jr. Let's see how it plays out, because you see here on the BKT overall event leaderboard, he's now claimed the first 10 points. He is now the driver to beat moving forward in this competition. Tony Ochs, Iron Man, falls in second place there. He has 9 points, and it works that way down the board. Tied at third, El Toro Loco, Gravedigger, each with 7 points. In the fifth place spots, Black Panther, JCB, Digatron. Take a look at the other half of the bracket. Megalodon Megalodon and Thor are both tied there. Sparkle Smash at 9, and then Ryan Anderson unable to compete in this competition, which he won earlier today, so a huge shot to him. 0 points. He does not get any for this competition, but he can make it up at our next one. That is our Kmart Skills Challenge. Drivers have up to 2 attempts to complete 1 skill move or 1 attempt to do a donut. That is coming up next right here at Monster Jam.
All right, Monster Jam fans, it's time for us to have a little bit of fun. I got my buddy here, Archie, and we're going to play a game called Two Truths, One Lie. Let's see if we got Jamie Sullivan on the big screen.
Hey, Monster Jam fans, it's time to play Two Truths and a Lie. Can you guess which one of these is a lie? I own mini horses. I dressed one of my mini horses as a unicorn for Halloween. I lived in a town called Christmas. If you think you know the lie, let me hear it.
I don't know if you think you know the right answer. Help Archie out. Does she own mini horses? Does he dress as a mini horse unicorn for Halloween? I would love to see that. Or has she lived? Does she live in a town called Christmas? Which one do you think it's a lie?
B.
All right, Archie says it's B. So let's see if she actually dresses up as a unicorn.
That's right. I did not dress my mini horse up as a unicorn for Halloween. Thanks for playing. Now back to more Monster Jam.
Oh, 2 truths and a lie. I tell you, I would love to see that, Jamie. That would be incredible. Everybody make some noise for Archie.
BKT is the official tire of Monster Jam, a one-stop shop for all your off-highway tire solutions with amazing quality and value. Check out the wide selection of BKT tires, ranging from ATV to agriculture and giant earth mover tires online at bkttires.com. Monster Jam tractor built by JCB. Dig deeper, lift higher, and move more with the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam, JCB. Just some friendly reminders when we get ready for our next competition. You see those bombs right there. That is the safety holes that surround the stadium. Our friend Jabari showed those to you earlier. Once the competition starts, we ask that you do not go up or down those during the event. Listen to your ushers and security staff. If you do move down to those bombs or have anything rested on them, that is for your safety. We are unable to continue the competition until it is out of the way or you are out of the way. So just a reminder for you guys. So right now, while it is clear, feel free to go on down, but we're getting ready for our next competition coming up here soon.
That's exactly right, Ray. And to be able to do that, you can already tell that currently our track is definitely on the watery side from that rain that you guys noticed. And right now you can see our JCB dirt crew. What they're doing is they're making sure that they're putting some dry dirt on top of those obstacles. What that's going to do is create more traction for our Monster Jam drivers in this skills competition. And this is one of my very favorite competitions. One of my very favorite moves is the moonwalk. What you're going to see is potentially a popper off of one of these pods, and you're going to see them potentially go back and forth between that moonwalk and a nose wheelie. A moonwalk is them actually being on those front 2 BKT tires and moving backwards. So that's my favorite. You'll have to look out for it, but it can only be done thanks to our dirt squad right now putting on that additional dirt.
All right, it's time for my favorite competition. It is the Kmart Skills Challenge. Drivers have up to 2 attempts to complete a 1 skill move or 1 attempt to do a donut. As Lindsay said, you're going to see moonwalks out there. You can also see bicycles, wheelies, poppers, stoppies, and more. Scoring is up to you at judgeszone.com. So Jabari, how would they do that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Monster Jam is not fake at all. These next competitions are going to be totally up to you to determine the overall event champion at the very end of this event. I'm going to show you guys how to score right now. Everybody take out your cell phones, go to your browser on your cell phones, and go to judgeszone.com. Judgeszone.com. Now, we also have this QR code. You can scan that. That will take you guys, yeah, just like they're doing right here. Judges Zone. Hey, go ahead. City code is GOL. GOL, just like this guy's doing right here. GOL. All right, now you're going to come across the BKT tire. All right, now this is where all the magic happens. Either myself or Ray will let you know when scoring is open. You'll have 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Move that BKT tire into the green to score the highest or down into the red to score low or anywhere in between. Let's get ready to get on with more Monster Jam!
Making his return to the track, and the first time you'll see him competing here today, it's Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. So Ryan knows that he needs a big move here after being unable to compete in JCB Racing. And it looks like he's going to go for one of the more difficult maneuvers out here on the track. I think we're going to see a maximum moonwalk. So shooting for the moon on this first attempt. Will he be able to pull it off in these conditions? Extremely difficult. Normally, when it's slick like this, even harder. He nudges it up. Can he pull it off? He's going to start with his tires up. And he pulls it off.
Let's hear it for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Scoring is open right now. Head to judgeszone.com. Lock in those scores. You guys got 20 seconds.
Ryan Anderson starting off with a maximum moonwalk. As I said, one of the more difficult maneuvers to pull out there on the track. Only a select few drivers even attempt this thing. He does it in these track conditions, and I just feel like he's driving frustrated out there, just the way that he was driving. And look at that, the expert score about a point different from the fan score, but I tell you what, that is an extremely difficult maneuver. 8.315 is a solid score, and he gets us started here in the Kmart skills competition. He is the driver to beat with an 8.315. But coming up next, it's the girl from Christmas, Florida, Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. And now Jamie Sullivan holding this popper steady as well. Does back BKT tires, making him dance back and forth and setting it down.
Let's hear it for Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Scoring is open, judgeszone.com. 20 seconds to lock in those scores.
And Jamie Sullivan with a beautiful move on the track. Already seen two great runs here from our Monster Jam athletes back to back. This is going to be interesting. 8.315 is the score to beat, but that was textbook, and she held that maneuver I mean, that was at least 15 seconds. Scores are locked, and the score for Sparkle Smash is 8.271, so we'll flip-flop this time. You see the expert score is now a point different from the fan scoring. That puts her in second place. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, able to hang on to the top spot. Getting back to the action from Orlando, Florida, Bari Musauer. Oh, I guess he's not ready to go yet, so we're going to switch it up. This man's coming from San Diego, California. Brandon Arthur, JCB Digatron. Brandon Arthur still has one attempt remaining on that maneuver. He's trying to get a forward momentum popper onto the center of that ramp. Doesn't get the traction that he thought was coming, so he's going to try one more time. It's his final attempt. Lining it up this time.
Let's hear it for Brandon Arthur, everybody. JCB Digatron. 20 seconds on the clock. Locking those scores now.
Brandon Arthur goes for that attempt twice, but unfortunately unable to pull off that maneuver. The traction here is going to be different on each side of the track. You saw the JCB Dirt Squad was working on the track throughout, as Lindsay said, throwing down fresh dirt. That might have been one of the spots where it really didn't take. He was unable to get the traction that he thought was coming, and a score coming up on the board for Brandon Arthur, 2.840. That is third place in this competition after two failed attempts on his maneuver. All right, so Lindsay, once again, I know we have a lot of action going on down there. You've been doing a great job. Thank you for keeping us updated, but I'm going to ask you again, what's happening?
Thanks, Ray. There is a lot happening down here, and being that this is our very last stretch here in Australia, of course, there's a lot of exhaustion, not only on our crew, but mainly these Monster Jam machines. But it seems to be very small issues happening right now, so it's just batteries on Black Panther. But Ray, what I think is so interesting is we saw Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger come out first in the skills competition. Of course, we know that that is actually because of racing. Of course, that order in the skills competition is based on racing, but Son of a Digger coming out first and having that high of a score is pretty spectacular. We saw him start on that backflip ramp, and it was clean, but ended in that wow factor. Do you think that that's what created him such a high score?
Yeah, I mean, the wow factor for sure, but something I was kind of scared of him pulling off such a complicated move early on. These fans haven't seen that move yet. They haven't seen any moves yet, so you're kind of at a disadvantage going first and early on in the competition. Tony Ochs won the Kmart Skills Challenge earlier today, and he even said when you have to go first, you really have to go big or you're not going to get a high score. Unfortunately, Ryan Anderson goes big, but we saw the point differential between the expert score, who know that's a difficult maneuver. They had about an 8.7. I believe it was a point differential, 7.7 for the fans, so it came back to bite Ryan either way. Also, Lindsay, I know that you know Ryan pretty well. I would say that you see his emotions there, frustration in his driving, revving the engine hard, really just taking off quickly from the track. Do you think he's driving with emotions out there?
He certainly is. You know, he wants to finish strong here in Australia. It's been a decade since he's been able to be here. Like he mentioned, he's got his son in the stands, and of course, any dad wants to make their son proud. But I also think he was revving that truck to go ahead and say hello to our Monster Jam fans, especially as he's coming through to the tunnel. These fans come and they want to hear that 1,500 horsepower. They want to hear that supercharger, and that's exactly what they get from Ryan Anderson and Son.
Well, I appreciate your hard work there, Lindsay. Sorry to cut you off there at the end. So there's stories that are happening on the track. If you're taking a look and you're like, I've never been to a Monster Jam event, you can look at how the drivers are handling the track conditions. You can see everything behind the scenes. So many moving parts. Now, I did mention this driver earlier, and I think that we do have him out there on the track, all the way from Orlando, Florida, Bari Musauer, Black Panther.
Goose Hour, everybody. Black Panther. Scoring is open. Judgeszone.com.
You know, we were talking about getting some fresh dirt out there. I said, Barry said, you know what, let me just spread out the dirt a little bit more. Hitting you with some donuts out there. He's spinning. I think y'all called it a cyclone out here in Australia. Well, get some nice donuts. This man does hold the Guinness World Record for the most revolutions in a donut run. But will it get into the top of the leaderboard this time? Scores are locked. The score for Black Panther is third place in the competition, 7.671. You still have Ryan Anderson hanging on to the top spot with an 8.315. But coming up next, all the way from Maumee, Ohio, Charlie Pocken, Megalodon.
Here for Charlie Pocken, everybody, Megalodon. Scoring is open, Judgeszone.com, 20 seconds.
Charlie Pocken, Megalodon coming out here getting the forward momentum popper as well. He was trying to throw into a moonwalk combination. That's why that maneuver happened so quickly. He was trying to reverse backwards up the ramp. Unfortunately, was unable to get the bite that he needed, and it brought it down. So a very quick maneuver, but he was able to pull off the popper. Score coming up on the board for Megalodon, and that is good enough for fourth place, 4.459. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, still hanging on. But we saw him get a skills victory in our first stop in Australia. Can he get another one? Blake Granger, El Toro Loco.
Let's hear it for Blake Granger, everybody. El Toro Loco. Scoring is open, 20 seconds on the clock. Lock in those scores now.
Someone call a doctor. This man is sick. What was that? I thought he was done. Look at the theatrics coming out, just blowing smoke. And then he says, you know what, let me bring the rodeo over here to Australia. He says, giddy up. Yeehaw. Watch this. Hits him with the moonwalk right here and just launches it. You see there on the replay. Look, inching forward, and then watch this. It says go for broke. Taking a look here at the replay. And just launching it. Put it in reverse, Terry. Great move there for Blake Granger. And the score for El Toro Loco is... put him at the top. No question about it, 9.187. Huge move there from El Toro Loco, hitting with the lights. That was nasty. El Toro Loco at the top.
Monster Jam fans, Jabari here. I'm here with a couple of Monster Jam fans. Come on over, come on. All right, we are gonna play. Your mom is telling you, hey, we're about to play. You ready? See, you're on the screen right there. We're going to play Name That Truck with these two. They're going to help each other out. So let's see who we have. Okay, shout out the answer when you think you know it, okay? We got some black in there. Maybe a little bit of purple. What did they say? Black Panther.
Black Panther.
A little bit louder.
Can you do it?
A little bit louder.
Nah, I don't want to do it now.
He said Black Panther a little bit early. He got shy on me. He is right, though. They helped him out here. Everybody give him a round of applause.
This has been a fun Kmart Skills Challenge so far. 9.187. El Toro Loco takes the takes the competition lead there, bumping down Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, who held it for a while. 8.315 still puts him in second place currently in this competition. Jamie Sullivan with a great popper, but getting back to the action, we still have more trucks remaining. And in the rain, you have to bring the thunder. Cynthia Gauthier, Thor. And now Cynthia Gauthier, we could see a tombstone or a maximum moonwalk. She's gonna have to take her time to line up this maneuver. Here we go.
Let's hear it for Cynthia Gauthier in Thor. Scoring is open. JudgesZone.com. 20 seconds. Lock in those scores.
Put you in a tough position there, Jabari. You thought the move was still going, and well, you saw that right there. That was a tombstone maneuver. Now, when the tires touched back, they said that was the end of her attempt and opened the scoring. So you see they're just touching down. They said that was the end of her run there. Cynthia Gauthier, Thor pulling off a tombstone, and the scores are locked. The score, a 6.960. Good enough for fifth place. Another point discrepancy there between the fan scoring and the expert scoring on a difficult attempt. El Toro Loco still at the top spot, but here comes the black and green wrecking machine, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger.
Let's hear it for Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. Scoring is open. 20 seconds on the clock. Lock in those scores.
And once again, the traction on the track comes into play. Just a little bit slick, and he was not able to hold those tires steady. And he just stares down Black Panther right at the end, facing right into the face of Barry Moosauer. Still some great spins there. Is it enough to take the top spot? That is up to you. Lock in the scores. JudgesZone.com. Scores are locked, and the score for Gravedigger is good enough for fourth place in this competition, 7.799. But getting back to the action, it's Tony Ochs, Iron Man.
All right, Tony Ochs, everybody. Iron Man, whoops. Scoring is open. JudgesZone.com. 20 seconds to lock in those scores.
Tony Ochs with the rollover there you see on the replay. And unfortunately, he had the maneuver down, just gets too much momentum forward, or it looked like his truck just did something unexpected right there. Not sure what happened. Of course, we'll keep you updated there. Lindsay, what's going on? What did that look like to you?
Let me tell you, the ladies are not playing right now. I'm with Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. You saw her out there, a completely awesome skills run. And then, of course, everyone cheering for Cynthia. I feel like she was a little underscored. You guys have really come out really hot this season.
Oh yeah, this track is pretty difficult tonight. You know, it's really slick out there, but you gotta work with what you have. And, you know, we're coming out here. Cynthia laid down an awesome run, so I agree with you. I think she was a little underscored, but you know what? We still have freestyle coming up too. And with this track the way it is, I think it's gonna be pretty wild.
And of course, when you came out here, do you have a plan when you're coming out, or did you change it?
So actually, I was kind of watching them put that little bit of dirt they put out on the track, the dry dirt, and you know, I kind of adjusted to that, and I saw that they put a bunch of dry dirt down there, so I figured I'd try to do a moonwalk, and it actually worked out pretty good, a lot better than I actually thought it was going to. So you know what? It's definitely fun. We're having fun out here, no matter what the track condition is. But I want to hear you guys. Are you guys having fun?
Well, there's so much more action left to come. Jamie, one more question for you. We were talking about the communication and how important it is between a crew chief and a driver specifically. When you're doing something like the skills competition, what are you guys talking about?
Actually, I try not to talk as much, you know. I try to keep it a little bit level and, you know, not say a whole lot so I can focus on what I'm doing. But I actually have to have my crew chief relay when I'm at 20 seconds because that's the maximum time we're actually allowed to have these trucks up in the air just for fuel and stuff like that. But you know what? I come out here and just have fun. Like I said, me and my crew chief, you got to rely on them. You got to have a good bond with them and come out here and just have a good run, you know, and that's just what we're trying to do. You know, we have so many more drivers coming, and it's going to be so epic right here in the two-wheel skills.
Thank you so much for your insight. Monster Jam fans, show some love. Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash.
6.099 there for Tony Ochs. Ironman, but good enough for 7th place in the competition, and just unfortunate as he did get into that nose wheelie there, was able to pull off that maneuver. Unfortunately, has the rollover. Seeing how it plays out on the board on the Kmart Skills Challenge. Blake Ranger, El Toro Loco with a 9.187. And then Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, still holding that second spot with an 8.315. As Lindsay said earlier, super impressive as he was the first competitor in this competition. And then you just heard from Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. She's currently in 3rd place with an 8.271. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger, in the 4th place spot with a 7.799. He got his first competition victory since returning to Monster Jam this year. You just saw it happen in JCB Racing. Can he get another one? Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man getting to the nose wheelie, just holding it steady. Going for the moonwalk combination. Can he get over the ramp?
Let's hear it from Mike Vaughters Jr. there in the Amazing Spider-Man. Scoring is open, 20 seconds on the clock. Lock in those scores now.
While they lock in those scores, Michael Vaughters Jr. looks locked into this event. A great run there. Pulls off the moonwalk as well, places it down. Now, it wasn't as aggressive as Blake Granger, El Toro Loco, but showing the finesse. Scoring is up to you, the fans. Score is a 9.187 to beat, and the score for the Amazing Spider-Man is good enough for second place, which means that your winner of the Kmart Skills Competition is Blake Granger, El Toro Loco. The 9.187 is enough to get it done. He walks away with another skills competition victory. I see you right there, Lindsay. Let's talk to Blake.
You know, early on when we first saw our first competitor come out, we saw the lineup and I said, you know what? Blake Granger, El Toro Loco is in the perfect spot to be able to get that wow factor and wow these fans, end up the winner. You did that right now. 10 points towards an overall event championship here today. Your last time here in Australia for this series. What can you tell us about that win?
Man, you know, like we said at the beginning of the event, with all the mud, anything could happen. That wasn't quite what I was going for. But I wasn't just gonna let the truck fall and stop. We're gonna lay that pedal to the floor and try to do something absolutely crazy. That's what this El Toro Loco truck is known for. That's exactly what we did. Are you guys having fun at Monster Jam? Let me hear you.
And it only gets better, and I truly mean that, because up next, of course, you guys have Freestyle, and you are the World Finals reigning Freestyle champion for a reason. How are you gonna manage to tackle this track here today?
We're gonna do exactly what we did earlier. You gotta stay consistent, but you gotta keep the momentum up. I'm a racer at heart, so every single second I am going as fast as that truck can, but trying to keep it in control, trying to jump as big as you can without braking when you land, and making it the entire 120 seconds, and of course, throwing the biggest backflip that you possibly can. But hey, I'm ready to get loco. Are you guys ready to get loco? Let me hear you one more time. Woo!
Yeah! You better move those lights! We've reached the pinnacle of today's event. Australia, this is Monster Jam Freestyle, yeah?
Halfway through this run here for Michael Vaughters Jr., the Amazing Spider-Man. He's at the top of the BKT overall event leaderboard right now. Absolutely sends it. Get it down to the 40-second mark. He needs a big run to hold off these other drivers. 35 seconds paused on the clock. It's still ticking away.
Let's hear from Michael Vaughters Jr. in The Amazing Spider-Man. Scoring is open, 20 seconds on the clock. Lock in those scores now.
Leaves 33 seconds on the clock remaining, and you just had a feeling he was about to send it as well. Lock in at the end of this run. Cut some huge height there at the 45-second mark. Unfortunately, gets too close to the barrier there at the end and unable to continue his run. Locking in those scores, and the score for Michael Vaughters Jr. is 7.475. Do me a favor, the last time you'll see these drivers here, 3 weeks in Australia. Give it up for Michael Vaughters Jr., the amazing Spider-Man. Infra Build Recycling Specialist in scrap metal. Building futures through sustainable steel, Infrared Build Recycling delivers tailored metal recycling solutions for a wide range of scrap metal generators, including households, local governments, mining operations, demolition projects, industrial businesses, automotive recyclers, and waste companies with 22 branches nationwide. We make recycling easy. Contact us on 13 Metal. Now, just a reminder, they must complete at least 30 seconds for a score. We did see earlier today where we had drivers unable to complete that time, I should say. So, must complete 30 seconds to qualify for a score. Thought it'd be a fast turnaround there. Unfortunately, I believe he's going to be hooked and taken off the track. So, just a little bit more time for our next competitor.
Monster Jam fans, I am here with Anna. She's so brave, and I got something very special for her. We're going to play mini jams. That's right. Who do we have up on the Monster Jam video board? Let's take a look, Anna. Let's see. We have El Toro Loco, Gravedigger, and Megalodon. Oh, goodness gracious. Megalodon. I think you're going for Megalodon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going for Megalodon. Let the races begin. And they're off. El Toro's in the lead, but hold on. It's not over yet. Who's it gonna be? Finn's Megalodon. Round of applause there for Anna. Oh, look what I got. I got a little Spin Master Monster Jam truck for you, a little Megalodon. Oh yeah, brought to you by Spin Master. And if you want your very own Megalodon Spin Master, head to Kmart near you.
Congratulations to our fans out there. And there you see Michael Vaughters Jr. just taking his time. You see there he's going to get a parade lap out of here. So as he passes by, make sure that you're waving to the man. He's had himself a career day. Gets his first competition victory right here in Australia. And his first victory since returning to Monster Jam this year. So a very special day. Currently leads all competitors, but this next competitor is also having a first time out here in Australia. The 2024 Rising Star of the Year, Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Score to beat is 7.475. Jamie Sullivan is the truck slotted next. And it is her turn to go, seeing if she's able to fire up, or is she dealing with issues as well. 7.475 score to beat. Jamie Sullivan is able to fire. Here we go. Jamie Sullivan halfway through this run. Launches it as well. Under the 50-second mark after some huge air. Jamie coming to the opposite end of the track. And I think we might see it. 40 seconds on the clock. She eyes it. She tries it. She buys it. The backflip. "30 seconds remaining in this run.
Let's hear it for Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Scoring is open, 20 seconds on the clock. What did you think? Locking those scores now.
Jamie Sullivan hitting it with an exclamation point right there. The whole time, it seemed that she was just on a slip and slider on some water out there. Looking like a ski nautique just flying through the water there. Lines it up for the backflip throw, throwing it backwards, looking like a ski team member out there just sliding through the water. Jamie Sullivan battling it out here. Her first time making an appearance in Australia. And the score for Sparkle Smash is... taking the lead, 8.981. Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash, says, "I am out here." That is your driver to beat moving forward in this competition. She holds the top spot. Now this is pretty sweet because you go from the youngest driver in the competition. She just joined Monster Jam in 2023. Well, this driver is a legend. He's been competing since 1987. The most veteran driver out here in Australia and one of the most veteran drivers in the sport. A legend in his own right. Put your fins together for Charlie Pocken, Megalodon. Charlie Pocken goes flying, brings it down halfway through his run. 43 seconds on the clock. Just getting word if he is finished or can he refire. He is done. That means scoring is open. Judgeszone.com. Lock in those scores. You guys know what to do. Code GOL. And I'm just so heartbroken right there. Unfortunately, experiences some breakage after he launches it. But Charlie Pocken leaving everything on the line. Unfortunately, does leave some time as well. ADC as he drives off, you got that BKT tire just stuck in place. Scores are locked, and the score coming in for Megalodon is a 7.522. The last time you'll see him this weekend, 3 weeks out here. Give it up for Charlie Pocken, Megalodon.
Over here in crew seating, I have Bill Lofthouse, one of your fleet managers here at Monster Jam. And earlier today, we were looking back there in the pits, and right now they're still working on Iron Man. We're gonna take a look at the video board and walk through a transmission change. So transmission change can be done pretty quickly. We're gonna look at that video right now. Can you talk to us about what the steps take?
Yeah, we just happened to lose first and second gear in Ironman, so we drug it out back, and we got a handful of the guys thrashing the transmission out. It's a matter of disconnecting the torque converter bolts, the drive shaft, and then yanking that thing out of there.
And I did get a close-up of both sides of that transmission. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the second side as well. Can you talk to us about how that attaches in that Monster Jam truck?
Well, it's pretty much like your standard car. The bell housing goes against the engine block, and then there's an output shaft that goes into our transfer case, and that's what makes the power go to the ground.
Well, thank you so much for your inside Monster Jam 101 here. Thanks to our UNOH technicians, our crew chiefs, and of course, our fleet manager, Bill Lofthouse. Monster Jam fans, make some noise.
This next competitor has been in competition since 2009, all the way from Orlando, Florida, Bari Musauer, Black Panther. Well, 110 paused on the clock. He just started this run and then immediately stops. They've been working on these trucks in the back. He's able to continue competing if he's able to refire. If he is not able to refire, he will not get a score. Just waited to get official word. They're coming out to check him right here. Lindsay, if you're standing by, do we have anything of what this possibly could be at all?
They're still trying to communicate with Bari Musauer right now and figure out exactly what's going on. I've been told it could potentially be linkage issues. This could mean he's potentially having issues when he is trying to shift with that transmission. So I'll keep you guys updated as the story unfolds and as I figure out more information. As of now, they are still trying to communicate and figure exactly what's going on.
And I appreciate that. Bari Musauer, of course, has had over 9 times out here in Australia, a Monster Jam Tour veteran and a veteran in the sport. Such a storied career for this man. Guinness World Record holder for the most revolutions with donuts. Of course, started as a professional RC driver, and it's just insane to go from driving RC trucks professionally to driving a giant Monster Jam truck professionally and making a historic career. And unfortunately, they just give official word that he is done. He does not qualify for a score. But this man traveled 15 hours to be out here, a legend in the sport. Please give a big round of applause for Bari Musauer, Black Panther. Just a reminder, too, once again, they must complete at least 30 seconds to qualify for a score in this competition. Use of all ramps, creativity, technical moves, combinations, and wow factors at judgeszone.com. The scoring is up to you. Now, we've been having a good time out here in Australia, and I hear a lot of energy out there. Jabari, if you're standing by, do we have anything for the fans?
Oh, I think we can have a little bit of fun here in the stands. Let's put up the Monster Jam wheel. We're going to spin it, and then we're going to see what it lands on, and we're going to do the thing. Let's see. It is the Flex Cam. If you want to be on the Monster Jam video board, let's see you flex. Ha 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 ha. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for spinning that Monster Jam wheel. Who's ready for more Monster Jam freestyle?
They've been working on this truck back there tirelessly, and he makes his return to the track. The 2019 Arena Freestyle of the Year award winner from Lucinda, Pennsylvania. It's Tony Ochs, Iron Man. Tony Ochs halfway through this run. Get it halfway through it. 40 seconds remaining on the clock.
Tony Ochs, everybody, Iron Man. Scoring is open. 20 seconds is on the clock right now. It's time to lock in those scores. Ray.
That's right, Tony Ochs. It comes from the back of the pits there. They were working on him tirelessly, and I would still say that the truck probably wasn't to the best of its abilities out there on the track, or wasn't running as strongly as it could. It seemed like a very timid run there with the truck, but nevertheless, it did get him out to the track, and Tony able to earn some points there. Unfortunately, he does have the rollover, and it's just been a battle here. Whenever they run into those issues out there on the track, it's similar to, they say it's gremlins. You know, the gremlins keep getting you. He's been battling them throughout the event. Still, 6.916, earning some valuable points in this competition that is good enough for fourth place. And the final time that you will see him here this weekend, he's on all 4 BKT tires. Make some noise for Tony Ochs, Iron Man.
And over here, I've got Charlie Pocken, your driver of a Megalodon, and of course, an amazing run here in Australia. This is the very last week that we'll be here. How do you feel about that run you just laid down?
Oh man, it was a great run till the very end, you know. Unfortunately, we had a planetary lockup. You just never know what's gonna let go. But before that, boy, I was just in my groove. I was going out there having fun and making things happen. All for you, our great Monster Jam fans here. Man, I can't say enough about coming over here to Australia. It's one of the greatest tours we have, and I love each and every one of you making history here.
We certainly are, and of course, you have a history of being here in Australia. What do you think is your favorite part?
Oh, definitely the fans, the 5-year-old kids, you know, all the autographs, all their, you know, Spin Master toys. That's what's everything, you know, it's making history for them. It reminds me of being that kid again, playing in the sandbox. That's what, you know, is everything to me, making history of them.
Thank you so much for your insight. Monster Jam fans, make some noise for Charlie Pocken, your driver of Megalodon.
Charlie Pocket always bringing the energy, but this driver bringing energy as well. 2025 Rising Star of the Year from Ramona, California, Brandon Arthur, JCB Digatron. Now, Brandon unable to compete in Melbourne. He was filled in, a Matt Cody driver there filled in for him. And Brandon Arthur made his return there in Sydney at one event. Now he seems more comfortable here today. Is he able to get a victory? Here he goes. Slowing it down here, 35 seconds on the clock, and I think he's gonna go for it. The backflip!
Brandon Arthur, everybody, JCB Digatron. Scoring is open, 20 seconds on the clock, judgeszone.com.
Brandon Arthur hitting with the backflip there at the end. It breaks up absolute destruction and chaos. You see him hanging out of the truck. Give it up. Brandon Arthur, JCB Digatron, just delivering in this run. Been competing since 2023. Same thing with Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. She started in 2023, and she currently holds the lead with the 8.981. And the score for Brandon Arthur, JCB Digatron, is so close, 8.474, but that is good enough for second place currently in this competition. Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash, able to hang on.
It is time for us to play a little Monster Jam trivia. I got the Fox family here. Let's see how much knowledge they know about Monster Jam since all y'all got on swag. Okay, let's see what we got. It is not C. You be quiet over there. It is not C. Don't trip them up. What do you think, Fox family?
Still?
Almost very close. Let's mark out toothpaste and steel. What could it be?
D.
You got it right. Yeah, he's like, I was right there. It is D, fiberglass. A round of applause over here for our Fox family. Not you over there, the Fox family. Thank you, guys. Safe travels home.
Right here in Monster Jam Freestyle, you see they're on the board. It's been shaken up to be a crazy run here. So much chaos, carnage, and destruction out there on the track, and that's what makes this fun. Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash, holding off Brandon Arthur. She has an 8.981. JCB Digatron is in second place currently with an 8.474, and then Charlie Pock and Megalodon with a 7.522 currently in third place. Now, it does make it interesting as well because coming into this competition, Michael Vaughters Jr., the amazing Spider-Man, had a 7.475 in this run. So that is going to affect where he places in this competition. Had a chance to deliver out there. And he's currently fourth place. And then Tony Ochs, Iron Man, in fifth place. But getting back to the action. 2025 Donut of the Year award winner. Began competing in 2015. All the way from Quebec, Canada, Cynthia Gauthier, Thor.
Cynthia Gauthier, everybody, in Thor. Scoring is open, judgeszone.com, 20 seconds.
Cynthia Gauthier leaves a time on the clock after pulling off a slap wheelie. She came off of the ramp there, slap wheelie going right into the other obstacle, and unfortunately experiences some breakage after the rollover. Did the fans enjoy that, though? We'll find out. Scoring is up to you. You see here the slap wheelie. It just about launches it, and then unfortunately just a bit of a tilt, and you see that's where the breakage occurred there on the screen. Scores are coming in. Score coming in for Cynthia Gauthier. Thor is 7.250, good enough for fifth place currently in this competition. The final time you will see her out here in Australia. After 3 weeks, you know what to do. Make some noise. Cynthia Gauthier, Thor.
Over here in crew seating, we have some excited fans right behind me, and it is now time to actually learn from our body technician. This is Jose Torres, and of course, like I said, some excited fans back here in the seats. But, you know, Jose, we just actually saw that interview question about fiberglass, and that's what you do. Can you talk to us through about what it is to be a body technician?
To be a body technician, you actually fix the bodies that you guys look. If we have time, we actually go grind all the delamination and then go and lay new fiberglass with resin and stuff. But that also depends on weather. Like if it's cold, or if it's raining, or if it's very windy, that affects the condition, which the resin cures. But if it's sunny and hot, that's a perfect weather for a resin to cure. And let's say we only have 2 hours to fix a truck. We go in with this thing called Lexan. It's a plexiglass material that bends and holds the structure of the body together. We just bolt it on the truck and we send it out there.
And of course, not all of our Monster Jam bodies look exactly the same. They start with molds, but there's so much more than that as well. When you think about each one here today, which one is the easiest versus the most difficult to fix?
Probably the easiest ones to fix would be either Gravedigger or Son of a Digger because they're relatively flat. And you could just throw a piece of Lexan in the back and it'll stay together like nothing happened. But then the hardest one would probably go to JCB Digatron or Thor probably.
And it looks like Thor may have a little bit of body work, but you have quite a bit of time before you're gonna have to see that one back in action. How long does it typically take for you to fix them?
Normally it depends on how many parts are broken. Let's say just one part's broken, we could have it done by the end of the day. But let's say it's like the whole body, it would normally take like 2 or maybe 3 days to put it all together.
And lastly, what brought you the specific dream to be a body technician here at Monster Jam?
I actually started as a fan. I was in those seats like everyone here was, and then I saw that I could do this, and I had this dream since I was little to actually do this, and now I'm here, and I used to look at these trucks and be like, wow, they look great. Now it's my turn to make sure they look great for all you fans.
I love to hear it. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Monster Jam fans, make some noise for Jose Torres.
Well, you see there, Jamie Sullivan still hanging on to this top spot, 8.981. We also want to take the time to thank all of y'all here coming out today. As I said, we started in Melbourne, Sydney, and then now finishing off in Gold Coast. But I need to know, who's ready for some more Monster Jam? Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. .77 seconds on the clock, and the tire has left the chat. 1 point deduction onto his score, as he did not feel 1 minute of it, but he does qualify for a score. He said to the moon, came down, and you heard the boom as a BKT tire went out. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. What a jump. All these trucks are just putting it on the line. They know it's their last event out here, and they say, let's just send it fully. You're seeing it all happen out there on the track. And there it is on the replay. Watch this, getting some big air when he comes down. There goes that BKT tire, destroys it. Scores are locked. Score to beat, 8.981. And the score, a 6.880. Almost a 2-point score difference between the fan score and expert score. They say it leaves too much time and it affects them, as well as the 1 point deduction for not completing a minute. That was Adam Anderson, Gravedigger.
Monster Jam fans, I got a couple of fans here, and they are going to help me do something very special for you guys. We're going to spin the Monster Jam wheel. Whatever it lands on, that's what we are going to do. Let's spin the wheel. It's coming up here in a minute. Well, there was a wheel. Oh, it's the dance cam, everybody. Let's everybody get on their feet and start moving around. Come on, you know the cha-cha slide. Cupid shuffle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Left. Now kick. Y'all don't know this. Left.
Great job there, breaking out those dance moves. We still have more drivers remaining, and he has something to say.
What's up, Monster Jam fans? It's Blake Granger, and it's my turn to freestyle.
Blake Granger, everybody. El Toro Loco. Scoring is open, 20 seconds. Lock at those scores.
Blake Granger, El Toro Loco, also leaving plenty of time on the clock. These track conditions coming into play once again. You know, whenever you're going this late in the run, he hasn't about ran for, it's probably been waiting to go for over an hour, I would say, between the halftime break and the skills competition. Unfortunately, unable to finish out his run, but you see him there the last time you see him here in Australia this weekend. Blake Granger, El Toro Loco. Scores coming up on the board. 7.776, so still good enough for third place in this competition. That's a solid score there for Blake Granger, El Toro Loco. Gonna get him on all 4 BKT tires. Lindsay, we've been busy up here. How you doing down there?
We are pretty busy down here as well. A lot of craziness happening, but right now I've got Tony Ochs with me, your driver of Ironman, and he's holding a piece here that came off of his Monster Jam truck. Now, you were having some rear steer issues earlier today. Can you talk to us about what happened?
Yeah, this little piece right here, this is a solenoid for the rear steer, and this is what took us out of the final round of racing earlier. You know, I was super proud to be there in the final round against Mikey and the Amazing Spider-Man. You know, for both of us to be in that final round with the top-notch competition here, man, it's a huge honor. But then, you know, came out for 2-wheel skills, had the perfect setup, and then the transmission just let go. We had all neutral in every single gear. So, yeah, we ended up on our roof, and the guys, they worked their tails off during intermission, got that transmission swapped so fast. We've got the best crew in the business right here. My crew chief Sam, man, he's got that thing, you know, tight. And you know, I wanted to come out here and just have a great time in freestyle, and that's what we did.
And of course, sometimes we're just at the mercy of these Monster Jam trucks, and of course the track as well, the weather conditions. How do you continue to keep a good mood about it?
Hey, we're just all out here having fun, you know. To come out of that truck and just see all these kids out here smiling ear to ear. I got 2 little ones at home myself, so it's all about family. And when we come out and see everybody smiling, that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Tony. Monster Jam fans, make some noise. Tony Ochs, Iron Man.
Always in good spirits there. We're going to get this truck clear here from the track as they still have one more competitor remaining, but 8.981 for Jamie Sullivan. Sparkle Smash is at top of the leaderboard. Brandon Arthur currently in second place with an 8.474. And Blake Granger gets a great score there for him, rolling over and leaving time, a 7.776. He still might be in contention to win this thing. But I have to say this. You fans came out here in the rain. You guys waited. You guys have been bringing the energy. It's our last stop. So I need to know, are you guys having a good time? No. I said, are you guys having a good time? Gold Coast, your final driver of the evening. On the count of three, I want you to be as loud as you can for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. 1, 2, 3! .60 seconds remaining on the clock here for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Launching it through the sky. 50 seconds remaining. Get her down to the 30-second mark. Ryan been putting together some big air, some finesse. You see him right here. Slowing it down. He's gonna need a wow moment, so I think we might see it right here. Lining it up, the backflip. Moonwalk combination coming out of this thing. Buttery smooth, 10 seconds remaining. Oh, he has enough time to line up for one more move. Can he pull it off? Goes into a bicycle.
Ryan Anderson, everybody, son of a digger. 20 seconds on the clock. JudgesZone.com, lock in those scores, Ray.
Oh, man, that got fun right there. This gets interesting. I thought Jamie Sullivan was walking away with this thing, but Ryan might have something to say about that. Look at this right here. He's already out of the truck running around. Ryan Anderson said, this is my time to shine. Now, here's the thing. The score to beat an 8.981. Ryan, take a look at the board. Let's see if you took the win. The score for son of a digger is... Put him at the top. Gets it done. The last competitor, and he says, get out the way. Takes the top spot. And that is your freestyle winner. Just so much action happening here today. One of the longest freestyles we ran. Every single driver knew that they could completely let it fly out there on the track, and that is what we saw. Ryan Anderson says, let me finish out this time. Walks away with a competition victory in freestyle nonetheless. Let's go ahead and talk to him out there on the track. Ryan Anderson.
Thanks so much, Ray. Ryan, congratulations. The last one here in Australia, and you completely wowed these Monster Jam fans. Every single fan behind me was completely going crazy. Everyone standing in the stands. What does this moment mean to you?
Man, I got to take this mic. You've got to talk all night. I don't get to. Man, Australia, you guys have absolutely rocked all up and down the East Coast. My main man right here, Bryce Langlois, he is an absolute lunatic. The more I tear the truck up, the happier he is, so hats off to him. But you guys, man, you guys come out here, you spend your hard-earned money on the tickets, the hats, the merchandise, the t-shirts, we see it all, and you are the reason why we do what we do. If it wasn't for you fans supporting us for over 40 years and Team Gravedigger, my crazy dad, Dennis Anderson, my big brother, Adam Anderson, and the rest of my family, we would not be here today. I wouldn't be traveling all the way around the world to come please you fans. But I do got to ask you this. It's been 10 years since I've been back to Australia. But I want to hear one more roar into concourse. If you're in the parking lot, if you can hear me, who had a good time at Monster Jam tonight?
Congratulations to Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, but what was it enough for the overall event championship? Take a look at the board. Your BKT overall event champion, 7 in JCB Racing, 10 in Kmart Skills, 7 in Freestyle, with the overall event total of 24 is El Toro Loco, Blake Ranger, and he's already on the track. Let's get him on the mic.
Thanks so much, Ray. I'm going to go ahead and get his crew chief in this shot as well. Go ahead and hand you that trophy for the last time here at the Gold Coast on Saturday night. Congratulations on an overall event championship. You were so consistent tonight. I have to say, I did pick you during a wraparound earlier today during trackside, and this crew over here went absolutely insane. They were so ready to see an El Toro Loco win. I'll give you the last word here.
Most definitely, it felt good. We started the month in Australia taking the first overall event championship, and we're finishing it. And it's right here because this man, Fernando, he has worked his butt off to keep this El Toro Loco truck running all month. So let's make a round of applause for this guy right here and every one of these crew chiefs that have literally worked every hour of this last 3 weeks to keep these trucks running for every one of you guys. And hey, we thank you guys for supporting Monster Jam, showing up, showing out, sold out houses all over this country, and we're ready to come back. And I know I'll be back next year. I don't know where we're going yet, but make sure you stay on monsterjam.com and look forward to it, because we will be back bigger, better than ever. If you guys had fun at Monster Jam, let me hear you one more time. Woo! That was great.
Well, congratulations to Blake Granger, takes home the BKT overall event championship. And I don't know if you know this, Jabari, but he actually won the first one in Melbourne. And he says, you know what, let me finish it out here strong in Gold Coast. Jabari, let's dap up real quick, man. Let's do it, man. It's been fun. 3 weeks out here, man.
Fun.
Did you have a good time?
Absolutely. The best experience. 3 weeks, but I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, you can't even talk right now, man. We got to get out of here, man. This is my first time out here. I just want to say thank you to Australia. 3 weeks, my first time at 34 years old. This is a dream come true. I know it's one for you as well, and so many great memories. But as Blake Granger said, we will be back, but we're going home first. We'll see you next time. My name is Ray Barriel, and it's Jabari Thomas. That was Lindsay Noble. Also, big shout out to the AV team, everybody behind the scenes. They're over here behind the glass somewhere. They're the ones that brought you all the production. They did a great job. We'll see you next time, and that was Monster Jam. We'll see y'all.